Hello and thank you for joining us today with Out of Bounds Disc Golf Course Reviews. Today we're going to go over to Covered Bridge Disc Golf Course in South Whitehall Township, Pennsylvania. Right here we're on Lapp Road, L-A-P-P. And we're going to turn right under River Road, which is where the parking lot is located. And I'm going to try to show you that on each course as we do these reviews, is how to get to the parking lot, how to get to the practice basket if there is one, and of course how to get to the first tee, and then from each basket to each tee pad. So you don't want the first parking lot, you want the second parking lot, otherwise you're going to be up for quite a hike. And this course here, it's not a real long course, it's pretty short, kind of technical. Thanks again, and enjoy. Okay, here we are at Covered Bridge Disc Golf Course here in South Whitehall Township. I'll walk over here, we'll flip this around so you can see the parking lot. And to get to the first hole, all you do is cross over the simulated covered bridge. You cross over the Jordan Creek. I'll pause for a moment so you can see that on both sides. And a little sped up here just so you didn't have to wait so long for me to walk down all these steps. Right over here to my right you see the practice basket, hole one's tee pad. There's a practice field over there you can throw in, or you could throw over there in the ball field too. Sometimes we do that. And here we go with some practice putts to warm up. Today in the bag I have two DX AVRs, 175 gram weight. That's my standard putting putter. And then I have two Wardens in the bag as my throwing putters. One Lucid Warden of 173 grams and a Glimmer Lucid X Warden at 176 grams. Here we are at hole one, right from the tee pad to the basket, and we'll look again from the basket back to the tee pad. Hole one is 225 feet with a straight fairway just finishing left towards the basket, slightly uphill. I'm throwing my ESP Buzz by Discraft, 5-time world champion Paul Macbeth edition. A little bit of an inside release, stays just inside the path. As I walk up here for the putt, I have that DX AVR, the SFO Open stamp. About 30 feet off the top of the basket. And the comebacker for par. Now we'll go from hole one's basket over to hole two's tee pad. It's a pretty easy straight shot. This hole is listed at 335 feet. I'm throwing my titanium crank from Discraft. straight ahead, just into the woods there. It's a fairly good shot, little tight to the tree line, but we'll see when we get up there. All right, looks like I left myself about 25, maybe 30 feet out. Have a look underneath that tree. Oh, just short off the basket. A little frustration there. And we'll clean it up for the par. Now from hole 2's basket, back down to hole 3's tee pad, which is right there. Kind of in the middle of 2's fairway, just off to the left. Hole 3 is listed at 227 feet, right there into the woods on the right-hand side. Using that force from Discraft, 4-time world champion Paul McBeth edition. Oh, let it go high. Didn't follow through all the way, and the tree said nope. Should have a look to get up and down for par though. I'll approach my shot. I've got that Malta from Discraft in my hands. Paul McBeth's signature mid. Skip shot up around the tree, and it parks the basket. That'll do. And we'll tap it in for the par. Now we'll go from hole 3's basket over to hole 4's tee pad. You just turn left essentially. And right here is hole 4, basket straight ahead. And I've reached in my bag for the Nate Sexton Firebird from Innova Champion Discs. And down the middle of the fairway, and it looked like it slid underneath that tree there a little bit. I forgot to mention this hole is listed at 145 feet. However, that is the previous basket location, which was a good amount shorter. Not a bad look at all. About 30 feet out inside the circle. Downhill, so it's a little scary. Don't want to miss. And drilled it for the birdie. Now from hole 4's basket down to hole 5's tee pad right here to the left. Hole 5 is listed at 278 feet. I'll be throwing my Avenger SS from Discraft, a 5-time world champion Claws edition from Paul McBeth. Yes, I have a problem. And that's not where the basket is. The basket finishes dog leg right, just slightly. That's going to end up out in the field over by the pavilion. We'll walk down the fairway a little bit here just so you can see the basket before we walk down to the lie. Right over there, just on top of those rocks. Pretty cool location. And here's a look at the basket from where I landed. Throw my West Side Discs harp with a brainwave die. Forehand just gets around the tree. Should be looking at a good spot right there. Looks like the rocks pushed me back towards the basket. I'll take that any day. We'll go ahead up and tap that in for the par. Now from hole 5 to hole 6, tee pat. Straight ahead. Hole 6 is right up over that rock and listed at 156 feet. This is my Lucid Getaway from Dynamic Discs. I'm going to throw a thumber up through that gap. Left it go a little high and it's going to be a little right, but should be in a decent spot for a chance at a birdie. As we walk up here, I'll throw out a disclaimer and let you know that they have since moved the basket. It's now going to be right straight ahead of me now on the bottom here right now instead of over here. And I did leave myself a decent look here. Looked at the straddle, go back to normal putt, and just didn't give it a chance. We'll tap that in for the par. From hole 6's basket over to hole 7's tee pads, just out of the woods. Hole 7 is 214 feet, just over the crest of that hill, down the left-hand side. Throwing my Lucid Justice from Dynamic Discs. Way out on hyzer. Get it to fall back on the hill, hopefully skip in. And I'll take that every time. Tapping it in for the birdie. From hole 7, just turn around, walk back up the hill a little bit, and right here is hole 8's tee pad. Hole 8 is listed at 225 feet straight ahead, slightly downhill through those trees. Throwing that ESP Buzz again by Discraft. And just gave it a little bit too much hyzer there. Another disclaimer, this hole has since been moved. They have the basket short to the right. So just through the right gap that you saw a little bit there. And just to the right there. Gave myself an okay look. Downhill, about 20 feet. And in for the birdie. Thank you, Chains. To get to hole 9's basket, you walk up the hill and take a hard right down the small path over here, because the big path is hole 11's fairway and you don't want to get clipped. Hole 9 shows over 300 feet here. It is no longer that far. It is short right ahead there. I'm gonna take out a Star T-Bird Avery Jenkins 2009 World Champion Edition, and I'm gonna throw a thumber. Got out there pretty good and really pushed back hard right. Looks like it got knocked down by the tree there. Gotta look when I have to switch to the straddle putt. Not my strongest suit. Be the first to admit that. And as I do my best Nico LaCastro impression. And then I pushed it right anyway. Head on over and tap in the par. And that's the front 9. Thanks again for joining us at Out of Bounds Disc Golf with our course review for Covered Bridge Disc Golf Course. On the front 9, we are -3 right now. Stay tuned and look for the back 9 and, of course, future course reviews.